Well, for Richmond, Virginia, he's been everything.
So Fred was the catalyst. He was the guy that got it all going. You know, he was the most impactful one. And what was interesting about Fred is the team that he put together. Of course, everybody wants to help Fred and everybody loves Fred. So, you know, he put this team of everybody's together, and the impact was unbelievable.
I'm sitting at my desk one day. I've heard his name. I'm pretty sure I had met him at one point. He called me up out of the blue and said he had read that I was working on a golf course that would maybe be a municipal golf course for the city. And he had heard about the First Tee initiative through some national publications and called me and said, you know, I'm interested in helping. I want to help. What do I need to do? All right, if you'll just, you know, I'll get back to you in a couple weeks and tell you what I know, and I'll see if I can get you involved. An hour later, Fred calls me back and said, okay, I just talked to Tim Fincham of the PGA Tour, and we're going to have a First Tee franchise here in Richmond and maybe one in Chesterfield, and now what do I need to do? So I realized then he really wanted to help. And as soon as I could get a meeting with Fred, we arranged it. We sat down. He created a vision, and I was just lucky enough to help him.
As we talked and got engaged in the First Tee, I said to Fred, I think for this thing to work, whether it be in Richmond, in Chesterfield, for the whole region, it's going to take a monomaniac on a mission. You are that person. And I am happy to help and assist you in any way possible. But I think it really is going to take you as somewhat of a monomaniac, almost fanatical about enabling this to happen, to marshal the collaboration, the teamwork to be required. But it's going to take a quarterback. It's going to take somebody who's going to be there and get it done.
The really cool part that I felt about that night was, here's Fred Tattersall. Fred is, you know, had done tremendously well in business, knows everybody in the community. He's out there until 3 o'clock in the morning at a Chesterfield County Planning Commission meeting to try to get this golf course approved. And I think what really hit me over the head was, he's not out here to get a golf course approved. He's not out here to build a golf course in a public park. He's out here to make a difference. He's been doing that for, you know, 20 plus years in kids' lives around here. And that's, you know, it's cool to have been a part of that, to watch how he's impacted that over so many years now.
I see in Fred all of the values that are part of the First Tee value change, and I see them in how he conducted his professional work. I saw them in his deep love of his family and his community and the extended family and community, and I saw that in the efforts that he brought to volunteer and civic leadership.
So he's participated at all levels. Very first in getting the idea started, getting the facilities built, getting the program started, and he has just been a real champion of not only the First Tee nationally, but specifically the Richmond First Tee program.
A lot of things start in Richmond, and they can all be traced back to Fred.
Well, what I notice most about his kids, and I call them all his kids, is that they're learning golf. Of course, they're learning golf. They're learning to play the greatest game ever. But the biggest thing to me is when I run into those kids, I see Fred all the time. You know, the hat comes off, the hand goes out. They say thank you, they say yes, sir. So all of Fred's kids are just unbelievably Fred.
I really respect Fred as a man. I admire him, and not because of the things he has, but because of the way he treats people and the things that are important to him.
With First Tee, he was so focused and could see the long-term picture before anybody else could really see it. He could see the story played out before it was even written.
To go from serving a few kids to serving thousands of kids a year I think we should all be really proud of that, and we should be really proud of Fred's leadership in that endeavor.
What we're doing here resonates with people, and the more people with whom the First Tee resonates, the more chance we have of getting involved with more organizations, more schools, and impacting so many more people. And to see so many of the kids that have been in the First Tee chapters not only go through college and play good golf, but become model citizens throughout this nation. And they're starting to make an impact. The more impact they have, the more that's going to drive future work of the First Tee throughout the United States and internationally.
In the first year of operation, the First Tee of Greater Richmond saw 36 youth at the Highland Springs Golf Club. Last year, in 2015, we reached over 22,000 youth. That is quite a remarkable reach, and we would not have been able to achieve what we have achieved without the vision and the commitment from Fred Tattersall.